What's going on, traders? Welcome back. Start Swing Trade, where we take a look at the swing trading action and, of course, the movers, the shakers. What's going on in the market? Let's take a look underneath the hood. All right, let's go to the SPY and see what we see there. You guys are seeing the SPY come right back up there to the 448, almost getting back even to the 449. Is this just a rally back to the upside, or are we just seeing a momentary bounce? I think we're just seeing a momentary bounce, but hey, to each his own, right? You guys make your own calls there. We'll see what happens here in the last hour, right? In the last half hour, I think you might see the Qs kind of give up some of these recent move right back to the upside. So be careful out there, traders. It isn't going to be just one-way trading right now. And you got to be careful with the Qs coming right back down. And we take a look here. Microsoft continuing to leak today from the open. I've talked about this on, of course, this show and, of course, pre-market prep. If Microsoft continues to leak, what do I expect to see? I expect to see continued downside in the market keep coming. Now, Microsoft is down pretty much from the earnings high there towards where we're at right now, about 11.45%. So not what you want to see there, right? And overall in the Qs, how much of a correction are we going to get, right? Right now we're towards about 4.3%. Will we get a 5% correction? That's closer down there towards the 368.90s. And then, of course, we'll be looking to see if we get down there towards even further. Will it be a 10% correction? 10% could have us back down to 350. So be careful out there, traders. We just got to keep an eye out to see where the rotation is going. And of course, what is it going out of? Right now, it seems like it's going out of technology, but will it be able to make its way back into this rectangle pattern? Or will it start to use this pattern above as resistance closer towards that 372, rejecting it and coming right back down? Something all to keep an eye out for. Of course, CPI will make a big, massive effect, and that's coming in on Thursday, so don't miss that. We'll see what happens when we do get CPI, and we got to keep an eye out for different stocks, right? Are we going to keep coming down in the financials today? As, of course, Moody's Investor Service cut the credit rating of 10 U.S. regional banks and said it was reviewing the ratings of 6 other institutions, pointing to lower profits and higher funding costs. As you guys can see, I actually went after JPM today on a short and was able to make some money. Some people probably weren't making money on JPM, but it did come back here, stop me out, and I made a little gain there. Can't be mad about that. There's another one that I went after also, but just looking at the financials and looking to see if this is going to fall off here towards the end. One that I'd be looking at to maybe swing short right back down is Goldman Sachs. Is this just going to make its way right back up tomorrow? That's one thing that I'm keeping an eye out for. And a part of me is thinking about taking a short here, especially closer towards the 349s, right back down. We'll see what happens there on Goldman Sachs. This feels like an opportunity for me versus something I want to run away from. On the day trading action, you guys can see one way to go about this might be the FAZ. We'll see if the financial bear shares actually start making a move higher. And if the Moody rating there actually makes an impact, right? We did see the downturn, but did we see destruction today? Not really. Let's keep going. We'll take a look at some of the other stocks. Of course, we did have some earnings stocks that reported today. So let's quickly run through some of those stocks. Palantir continuing the downside action, pulling back and continuing down. Something that I talked about, and I talked about it right here on this show. Is the AI bubble done, right? Will the tech wreck continue, right? The correction that we're seeing right now. We're definitely ruining the AI bubble kind of hype here, as I keep seeing mentions, and I'll state it again. Show me the money. You guys heard me talk about this yesterday. Would Palantir show me the money? And they did not. So, yes, did they talk about making money from AI? Yes, the CEO said it himself, Karp. He said that Palantir's aim is to make money from AI rather than just produce computer-generated poetry with a tool that boards don't approve of. He also stated that we would figure out how to monetize it when stating towards Palantir's artificial intelligence platform, AIP, and this told me enough. They're not making revenue from it right now, even though people consider this an AI stock. Are they actually making revenue from AI? They are not. And I think that this is one thing that we need to keep a lookout for on companies starting to turn around. Especially, I'll be looking for the AI story to start showing some weak hands, especially in C3 AI. I think this could keep coming down, eventually maybe break there towards 30 and get back down there towards the 26. We'll see what happens on C3 AI. Let's go to UPS. UPS pulling back today, of course, not the best earnings here. Missed on the sales, and we'll see if this can bounce back. It did a nice little move on the intraday, right back up there towards where it came from the earnings. So will UPS just bounce back? We'll have to keep an eye on it. A move back up towards like 186, and this will be looking pretty good. It is starting to come down here. And then when you look underneath the hood, domestic packages down, international packages down. Are they giving us some insight on the consumer? All right, let's go to the sectors and the industries today. And of course, I can talk about my trading action and we can just keep going through it, team. So let's go to energy, the leading sector on the upside today. And there you guys have it, a nice little holdback of the energy. And you can see this also on the XLE, pulls back, right back up there. Exactly what I wanted to see in XOM today. I talked about it before the open on live trading. I said I'd look for an hourly candle on XOM to make that move to 105, but then create a huge wick as the next hourly candle recovers 106 and it starts making a move towards 107. Well, we got that and more, baby, as XOM back up there towards 107.56 and starting to come back. Perfect play there. And so just going to keep watch. We'll see how XOM moves now. And I can just keep watch on the daily, extend this line here, and now see that, okay, from this point on, we want to really get back there towards that 109 and take it out. So, of course, that was on Friday's high of 109.24. In the next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to be looking to see if XOM could break through that 109 and get towards the 110. And of course, this will push all oil names probably to the next level. All right, let's keep going. Bug wants to talk about SoFi. I'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it coming up here. And Boba wants to think about Moderna. Hey, stay tuned. I'm going to do some ticker time from you guys, and we'll go through stocks from you guys in the chat. Let's keep it moving here. Nick Brown always in the chat. If you guys have any question, you guys know he's there. He'll be working hard also. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action in the market. Let's go out of energy. Of course, in energy, you guys saw today Chevron coming back. Names like ConocoPhillips getting that nice little bounce. That doesn't look bad off that 115 outlook. BP coming back to 37s. This doesn't look too bad. I was even looking at Valero. I was looking at Valero pulling back on this 9 EMA, and I had already played Valero, but right back up here. So I know that energy is going to make that run, and I will be talking about another industry that could run off of this energy move coming up. Let's keep talking about it. Let's go now move over to the second leading sector in the day, which is healthcare. What did well in healthcare today? Of course, it was biotechs that actually led the action from the open, but a lot of this coming off of course, Eli Lilly's kind of nice earnings report, and of course, NVO's action here off of their drug news. So this is giving the stocks and the overall sector a big lift. Of course, if you look into biotechs, we also got some nice lift today. You guys can keep watch. BioNTech getting the lift right back up after Moderna also got smacked yesterday, but Moderna didn't get the bounce back today. BioNTech did, and that just goes to show you Moderna is just weak right now, and this is not a stock that I want by any means. This stock could easily be right back down where it was before the pandemic, and who knows, maybe Moderna is back down to 30s and even lower to the 20s. I don't like this company one bit, and things don't look good right now in that chart. That is not what you want to be seeing, especially after an earnings report where they said they were going to hit certain COVID vaccine numbers that I don't think they can even get close to. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's keep going. We'll keep watching on healthcare names, but biotechs also had a nice little lift in certain ones here. You guys can keep a watch on it. Regeneron starting to come back up here. We'll see if that can take a lift. VRTX is one that I started seeing getting a little bit lift earlier. Going to keep watch, of course, on these biotechs to really see if they get lifted. One that I wanted to kind of keep an eye out for was IBB today. I talked about that on live trading. Would that make a move right back? And it did make a move. It did make a nice little pullback attempt also. Nice little pattern here that you guys could have came after on the 5-minute as this broke back above VWAP, now towards 127.36, and doesn't look too bad there. XBI is another one to take a look at, right? This is another way to kind of get this stock on a day like today. If you don't want to go into one particular name because you're a little bit concerned, well, why not go to an ETF in biotech where you guys saw the lift come from? Not a bad way to play it. All right, let's keep going, guys. We'll take a look at some other action and we'll keep moving through here. Communication services, the next leading sector. Not going to focus too much on these names. Just look out for what else is going on in the space. Let's keep moving to basic materials. This is an area that I'm keeping a watch on for one area especially, and that's coal. I talked about this yesterday. Would we continue to see coal make the move? And would we get BTU to make a big move finally and start shaking out of this downward area? You guys are seeing BTU make that nice little move. And I was looking for pullbacks to 22. Didn't get none today as that ripped through the 22s all the way up to 22.50s. So now we'll be looking for pullbacks to 22 to join the party. And there's other ones making a nice little lift. CEIX has been a nice monster move there in coal, actually pushing through the 52-week high now and getting up there to 79.56. AMR, the best of breed, now getting to that level of 179 and looking like it wants to keep going. We'll see what happens here on AMR, but coal names look like they're starting to get hot. All right, let's keep going. Let's get out of basic materials. You guys can keep watch. Copper also looking like it wants to reload. FCX is one way to keep an eye out on that. Silver and steel trying to get a little bit of a bounce. We'll see if they can really get that bounce or not. Industrial metals and minerals have come back very quickly, so be careful there to see what happens. All right, we'll see what happens out of basic materials. Let's keep moving. Let's go to this area that got hit the most today. Defensive's name actually taking a hit today. And I saw some trades even kind of turn around. Walmart coming right back down is a sign of concern. We'll see if it gets back up there through the 161, but it's starting to create resistance. Coke and PG coming down today. Just shows me that, this is not the area that I want to be fighting or trying to get too much of, even when we go down. If defensive names are not going to get the lift, well, what will get the lift? That's where I think we got to be careful here. Costco trying to push back, but right out the gates, these names were getting hit hard. We'll see what happens on some defensive names. All right, let's keep moving. We'll go to technology, the next sector, right? That's on the downside. It's still in the red overall. We just got to keep an eye out on names like Apple, right? Apple starting to come back here. Tesla was decently strong earlier. It doesn't look too bad now. It's trying to get back there to the 250s. We'll see if it finally rejects, right? Will these names kind of turn around? Something to keep an eye out for, right? Tech names have been kind of getting their correction. And I say we got to keep watch on names like Google. See if those can start pushing back towards the upside and taking a next step forward is one thing that I'd keep an eye out for. All right, there is going to be one report in technology that will definitely be on my eyes today. I did not take a short on it already, but I'm feeling like I want to take a short on it, which is SMCI. But of course, this is an earnings play, so be careful out there, team. But I feel like this is the stock that will be breaking the AI bubble mentality and the tech correction a little bit further to the downside. We'll see what happens when the earnings report comes in tonight. But if a stock like SMCI takes a huge hit, that's where I'd be concerned to start seeing even stocks like NVIDIA continuing to the downside. We'll see what happens. Of course, this is a favorite from certain areas in the market, and this has rode a trend. It's been a monster move since May, right? I mean, when you think about it overall, this has been a move of about 259%. Eventually, every kind of stock that lifts like this gets a pullback. We'll just have to look to see if it finally starts to break the 9 EMA, which is that light blue line. So a close, let's say, off of an earnings report that comes back down towards like 323s or 314s, this won't be looking that good anymore. We'll see what happens there on SMCI. All right, let's keep going. Thoughts on Baba's earnings, your prediction. Stick around. I got you. I'll go through all the stocks and all the questions that you guys have in the chat. And what's up, bro? Your thoughts on Moderna? It looks like no one wants to buy it. I agree. I don't think no one wants to buy Moderna, but we'll keep it moving, team. All right, SMCI, definitely keep your eyes on that. That's going to be reporting after the bell. And there's some other stocks we can keep watch to see what happens. I can show you guys some of the other earnings stocks coming in tonight. Of course, you'll get AMC, Twilio, Upstart. That's going to be interesting to definitely take a look at. I think, Upstart, it could be completely destroyed by the time we see it. Now, there is one that we can maybe keep an eye out for, which is Celsius Holdings. This one I might take a look at tomorrow if it starts having a good report. And that's why I thought that maybe Monster can get the lift. Monster had a big bar on Monday. We'll look to see if this gets back above it with the Celsius report. I'd keep an eye out on Monster Beverage tomorrow, especially with Celsius reporting. And then Upstart getting a little bit of a bounce today, but we'll see what happens on this one. This one's been flushed down from 70. Will it get to move back towards 60 or move right back down towards the 42, 43 area? We'll see what happens to these growth names. And there's going to be more stocks reporting definitely tomorrow before the open. You get Roblox. There's a couple of names there that are definitely going to stick out. We just got to keep a watch to see what happens to these names. Definitely not touching Lyft by any means. Take Two. We can see what happens there. And Twilio, not a stock that I'm liking, at least in the current environment. We'll see what happens there. Catching up with the chat. Looks like we got over 100 of you guys. Smash the like. Let's keep moving. What about AEO and GPS? All right, we could take a look at some stocks there. I'm going to leave at least 5 minutes here for ticker time. Got a couple more things to go through. But like always, guys, smash the like. All right, now I did want to go ahead and tell you guys about the trade that definitely got me out today. I took it for a winner, which was Wayfair. Not as big as I wanted to take it, but I took it off the table today as I set some stops around the 82.50s, and it just recently popped up there and stopped me out. Now, of course, this is still for a nice win because I got this from the 83s, the high 83s, but not as big as I wanted it on Wayfair today. But I'll take what I can get, right? Sometimes you're not going to get the big win. I got some out at 82.46 and 82.08s. So not the worst trade there on Wayfair. Still made a gain, but nowhere near as big as I thought I would get it. And of course, maybe I just got a little bit wrong on that stop out spot. But hey, to each his own. I can't watch the stocks 24/7. And sometimes you're just going to leave a stop and come back to see what happens. All right, let's get into some of the other stocks from you guys in the chat. I told you guys I would leave you guys some time for some ticker time. So now's your chance, guys. Smash the like, throw up those questions. We'll run through them all if I can. All right, Boeing, please look like a breakout about to happen. Boeing doesn't look too bad. I've been keeping an eye out on it, of course, industrial name. And now one thing that I can clearly see is it did turn around from the 240 continuation today. So we could be kind of doing a little bit of some pullback action. Maybe looking to kind of play this where it kind of makes a down move, then comes right back up through these levels. We'll see what happens. But right now, it's in kind of sideways consolidation at the top. So definitely doesn't look bearish by any means. So we'll look to see if it can build the pattern and make the move through the 240. All right. And yes, Palantir definitely took the money away. They did not show me the money. And that's what I wanted to take a look at. Buglog wanted to take a look at SoFi. SoFi, not a bad area to take a look at now as this has pulled back there towards the $9. I was looking at the 9 spot, and you're right, 100%. I was looking at it. Did I catch it today? No. But in the next couple of days, especially if we can finally start shaking some of this negative environment, maybe SoFi seems like a good opportunity here. So I'm going to look for something below 9 and towards 876. You have the moving average, the 876 right now, the 50 moving average right there. So something through like 888 tomorrow, I wouldn't mind it here. I'll keep an eye on SoFi to see if I can buy the dip. All right, Hyliion earnings out after the gates. We'll see what happens on there. That's HYLN. Will it get the move back above the 175 and the $2 spot, or will it break right back below the 150s? That would definitely be a sign of concern for me if this starts to break back down below 150s. All right, let's keep going. There's more stocks mentioned in the chat. You guys keep throwing them up. We'll keep moving through as many as I can do. Baba predictions. All right. Well, let me take a look here. Of course, one of the things I've mentioned is that China hasn't really given the real true fiscal policy kind of lift. Yes, they did some mentions, and that got them the lift there towards 100. So I could see this stock maybe having decent report, maybe getting up there towards 95 and 96. But overall, I need some more actual fiscal policy support to turn around the China tech trade. Now, one thing that is for certain is that eventually you're going to get some bigger buyers to step in here and maybe take a shot. The only thing is, will kind of political concerns keep them out? That's one thing to take a look at. We'll see what happens on Baba. If it can get that lift, PDD would be moving with that stock. JD also, by the time we coming in the morning, we'll have a better understanding, of course, of these China stocks. Let's keep going and definitely smash the like. We'll definitely see you in the morning. Boba Plays. It's always good to have you on the show. And there's another couple here that going through. It's about 356. We got a couple more time here. American Eagle getting up there to 1539s. Next stop for this is going to be a move back here into the 16. That's the next stop that I can see. And it doesn't look like it wants to stop anytime soon. But are they really just killing it that good? Eventually, I feel like this will pull back. Amazon short fill the gap. Yes, that was a good opportunity to look for. I actually was trying to do that yesterday. I got stopped out on Amazon on that up action that you saw here, but I was trying to short 141s for the move back through that 139 gap. And so we'll see. I think it's going to all depend on like a tech name like SMCI tonight. If that just gets hit, the Qs start getting hit and it drags a little bit further, we could see it go into that gap space. We'll see if it's able to close some of that gap on Amazon. And then JPM didn't look too bad. And I wouldn't mind taking a short on JPM, but really I'd probably shift over now that I've already traded JPM and I shift more closer towards a Goldman Sachs. Why? Because I have a feeling that Goldman Sachs, and I've seen it on the chart, has a tendency of holding trends a little bit more than JPM. JPM can be a little bit shaky. So you know what? Let's do it. Let's take a little bit of a shot here. I don't mind starting it up here, and I have to go really small because one of the things is Goldman Sachs moves pretty quickly here. So I'm going to take a little bit here off of the 348.53s. So technically, I'm already down a little bit, like a penny or two. So I just took a little bit, pretty much like a quarter size of what I could maximum take, but really only going to go up to like about a half size on this position. We'll see if it can come back towards the 349s here, and I can add that another quarter and then look for it to risk off the 350s. So that's going to be my risk spot. 350s tomorrow. If it's back up there towards 350s, I'll get the hell out of here. If it's back down there, of course, if it gives me 349s, I'll add. But I'm going to look for the move right back down there towards the 345s, 340s. And this could be a nice little 8-point winner, 7-point win for what? Maybe about 2 points risk. I'll take that shot. We'll see what happens. All right. Did I short First Solar? No, but it does look like it's setting up for that move. I've been thinking about like looking at it off of this 200, but you got to stay really close to that 200 because there is some support right above it, right? And so if it can reclaim 200, it can go to 210s. So I still see resistance right there, right above it. But of course, always remember above that 200, First Solar could squeeze back to the upside. So I'd probably just risk right off of that level and see if it just takes a big hit overnight. And one thing that tells me that the solars aren't coming back is that you see the action from Enphase lately, and this doesn't look good at all. SEDG doesn't look good at all. Run doesn't look good, right? This stock was starting to make a move up, starting to lift. It even did a little bit of a spike just a couple of days ago, right back down. Be careful with these solar names. All right, let's keep going, guys. It's good to see you guys out there. I'm seeing PayPal as one of the ones that we want to take a look at. PayPal overall keeps coming down there through the 63.20s, and I don't think 60 is going to hold. Personally, I think maybe PayPal looked like it was a bottoming event here, and it did get the ride right back up there, filled the gap. But now it's just getting weaker and weaker. And what makes me want to stay in these names? Nothing. Square, PayPal, those look dangerous to me. Those look like falling knives after coming back on the trend, and I'm not getting in front of those falling knives. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is being mentioned in the chat. We got about what? Already the bell rung here, so we'll take a look at the last little wrap up here. Goldman Sachs getting in there right before the close here, so not looking too bad. We'll see if this kind of comes right back down. I'll keep an eye on it. I did take the little bit of a shot, about a quarter position, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. I still got XOM. We'll see if that can continue to work to the upside, and we'll see if oil can continue to climb. One of my major things to watch in oil, and I always like to give you guys my oil outlook, is to watch above 82s now. Above 82s could really get us moving here in oil names. Today's range, we actually got into the 83 handle. Tomorrow, I will look for us to stay in that 83 handle. If anything, make a move to 84 and 85 on WTI. And this is bad news for inflation, but maybe good news for you oil bulls. We'll see what happens out there. Like always, Money Mitch will be here battling with you guys in the market. And like always, you guys can follow me at Money Mitch BZ. If you guys are thinking about taking some trades, looking at an industry or sector-wide rotation, want to talk about it? Right here is the place to be, of course. Start Swing Trade. I will see you guys bright and early, of course, on pre-market prep. We'll see how the earnings react today. And will SMCI be a negative or a positive? Find out why I feel this will be a negative, of course. Just gave you guys the outlook. And we'll see in the morning if super microcomputers starts to get the wreck. We'll find out. Like always, catch me in the morning on pre-market prep. Hit the thumbs up. I'll see you guys bright and early.